We've been so excited for the new M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBooks, and I know I've been talking about it nonstop for the past few days, but I haven't really got much of a chance to dive into the new AirPods lineup because there's so many other things to talk about, and don't get me wrong, I'm still counting down every single second until my MacBook gets here and I want to review it, but I think Apple actually did a great job at redesigning the AirPods lineup, and it has never been better than it is right now. I think the pricing is really healthy, so I wanted to dive into what I think is worth the upgrades and what AirPods you guys should consider in the future. Let's begin. So there were a lot of firsts with the new AirPods lineup this week because Apple has never done AirPods announcements on stage since the original AirPods were unveiled all the way back in 2016. AirPods 2, Pro, and Max were all site refreshes. Now they're finally giving it stage time, which was amazing to see for the first time in years. And simultaneously, they've also for the first time made AirPods cheaper. Yeah, that's right. All this time, AirPods have only gotten more expensive options over the years. Now for the first time with the second generation pair, we're finally seeing a price cut, but also now with AirPods 3 we even saw a price cut for wireless charging case AirPods, which I deem as truly wireless headphones. You gotta say truly twice, because first of all we have wireless headphones that have a wire connecting the two buds, and then we have headphones that call themselves truly wireless because they don't have a wire connecting the two buds, but you still gotta use a wire to charge the case. So when you don't need a wire to charge the case and the buds are independent from each other, that's what I call truly wireless. Now you can grab that for $180, which adjusted for inflation is about the same price as the original AirPods when they first came out. Probably even cheaper considering the value of the US dollar is dropping like a Samsung phone right now. So to see two different kinds of AirPods actually get more affordable caught me off guard. You know, I was somewhat expecting AirPods 3 to be around the same price as AirPods 2, but now they're getting so much more that AirPods have never had before. This is also the first time Apple has ever tried to improve battery life in individual AirPods. AirPods Max doesn't count because it's over-ear headphones and it looks like a bra, so I hate it and I don't want to pretend it exists. But now having 6 hours in each bud does make it feel like almost better value than AirPods Pro, which now, instead of being $50 more, are $70 more. And what you get with that is active noise cancellation, but when you have that on, it's 4.5 hours per bud, which means that across the lineup, as much as I love my AirPods Pro, I didn't used to as much at first, but thankfully my Apple sheep brain kind of genetically re-engineered my ears so that they fit better now and they're more comfortable because science. AirPods Pro though now have like the worst battery life in the lineup. Like for $120 less you can get 5 hours per bud on AirPods 2, which I genuinely think most people should be getting this. Like if you're wondering to yourself, should I spend the extra $50 on AirPods 3 to get spatial audio, water resistance, the extra battery life? It really comes down to longevity in my opinion. Like if you plan on buying these headphones and using them for a long time, having that extra battery life is going to help you because, as we all know, batteries degrade and they get worse over time. And the smaller the battery, the quicker it degrades. And AirPods have, you know, pretty much as tiny batteries as we use in our daily lives, which means that the likelihood of your AirPods 2 needing to be replaced after 2 or 3 years is much higher depending on your usage of the headphones than AirPods 3 because they got 6 hours to start from, 30 hours with the case, which is awesome. To give you guys perspective, that means the AirPods 3 battery life at $180 technically lasts longer than AirPods Max. Wow. That's really saying something about how bad AirPods Max are. But to me, like, if you're on the fence between AirPods 2 and 3 on your next upgrade, I would say just go with AirPods 2, because that's going to cover all of the basics of what you need for wireless headphones. I would totally recommend that to parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, everyday consumers that don't care about spatial audio, which is, you know, most of the planet. The only people who should be buying AirPods 3 are the people who are not on the fence. The type of people that probably watch these videos and watched the event and were like, wow, those look really cool. I can't wait to try out spatial audio and I can't wait to charge these with MagSafe. Yeah, you're in the tech community, okay? If you're watching this, that makes more sense as to why you could justify the extra $50. But for everyone else, AirPods 2 are of tremendous value, and I'm also hoping that now that they start at $130, Apple could lower the price of the replacement AirPods because a lot of people either lose those or one of them gets quieter than the other. So having the ability to more affordably replace that will make it easier for people to hold on to their wireless headphones for for extended periods of time. But I honestly never thought I would see this day come. Like, it's crazy to me that a pair of Apple branded wireless headphones now start at 130 bucks. I've never seen them get this low. Broke pods have never been more broke. Of course, I'm happy for everyone getting AirPods 3. I just have to imagine the average consumer isn't going to notice the custom driver or care much about the force stem instead of just tapping on the side. But I feel like most people don't even do the tapping on the side thing. They just go, let me change the volume or change the music from my phone or my watch. Either way, though, I think it's clear that AirPods Pro are due for an update, even though they technically got one. Actually, just a few days ago, Apple started bringing the MagSafe charging case for AirPods Pro to Apple stores. Again, you can't buy that separately. You have to buy a whole new pair of AirPods, but those things were coming out and they do work. They magnetically attach to the puck now, and they're out before AirPods 3 or the new MacBooks, which was kind of quick. So good job, Timmy. That's fast inventory. But aside from that, there's no other changes, and the battery life is still technically the worst on the Pros. So I hope for the future generation of AirPods Pros, which are probably not coming until maybe end of next year. Man, that'll mark 3 years since AirPods Pro first came out. They really wait a while between every AirPods launch, but 3 years in, I'm hoping battery life can be noticeably improved to maybe last over 5 hours on each bud. And the interesting question is, will the price drop? Because AirPods 3 got a price reduction, so now there's like a $70 gap between regular great AirPods and having AirPods that have active noise cancellation and transparency mode, which is astoundingly good with Apple's headphones. I know there are cheaper headphones with ANC, but the ambient noise mode on them always sucks. So could it make sense for Apple to drop the price another $20 or so that there's an equal pricing gap between AirPods 2, 3, and Pro? I think that might be justifiable, but...
And of course, right as I'm in the middle of editing this video, there decides to be a leak about AirPods Pro 2. Apparently, they're actually going to be putting, like, Find My speakers into the charge case. So that might put a dent in my theory about the price cutting down, because that's likely going to drive the price of manufacturing up a little bit, but it does mean it will be much easier to find AirPods Pro 2 because you'll be able to ping them, maybe directly from the phone, and it'll make those much easier to find, even if the pods themselves aren't in the charge case. Maybe they'll throw in some U1 chip tech in there as well. But now we know, maybe like a strap attachment or that kind of thing, but basically AirPods Pro 2 should be easier to locate. All right, back to edited Drew.
Should there be any design changes? I know there were rumors that they would ditch the stem, but I kind of like the stem, and I've done a video on that in the past. But overall, I think that the AirPods lineup makes a ton of sense right now, other than the AirPods Max, which is just kind of this confusing, you know, big bird member of the lineup, which I know some people think they're gonna do a sport variant that's made of plastic and cheaper, but I think it's more likely for them to just go the HomePod Mini route and just kind of abandon AirPods Max as a whole, replace it with something that uses cheaper materials, and probably give it a headphone jack so that you can advertise, look, it can support lossless with the high fidelity audio jack that's in the MacBooks now, and make it cost way less. I'm sorry, Apple, $550 is ridiculous, and I'm sure the sales of that are flatlining right now. Also, give it a proper case. There's so much wrong with that, I just would rather pretend it's not there. But in regards to actual real AirPods that are little, I love the lineup in its current state, and I'm curious if you guys are enjoying it as well. When your AirPods start dying on you, what are you going to go with for your replacement? AirPods 2, 3, or Pro? Feel free to let me know down below. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I'll see you next year. Or earlier, I just needed that to rhyme. Bye.